Hello and welcome to Alumni Pride. My name is Zoe Heatwell. This show is designed to catch up with former Susquehannock graduates and find out what they're up to now. Today's guest is Jeff Molinsky, and Jeff is a member of the class of '97. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me here as well.
Okay, so starting all the way back, what do you remember most from your days here at Susquehannock?
The thing that's contributed mostly to where I am today is I'm huge into sports. So playing on all the sports teams, and I wrote for the newspaper as well. So meeting all the people that we dealt with this and the friends that we had was definitely a huge influence in my life. Sports, played soccer, baseball, did track, and then newspaper I wrote for sports. So just doing all the sports while I was here, and also all the people and all the friends that I made here as well.
Did you have one teacher or maybe even one coach that just inspired you the most when you were here?
I had a few teachers and probably one coach in particular, but teachers-wise, it's funny because some of the teachers, I don't even know if they're here today, but Mr. Lease on chemistry, Mr. Naylor in math, and those were actually two of my worst subjects. So, but the type of teacher they were and the impression they had on their students as well definitely helps you out in just more than just the class itself, helps you out in life as well. Mrs. Krieger, who was actually a Spanish teacher back then, was a huge influence, and she's just always pushing you to do better, and if you weren't doing that well, just there to help you out. And then back then, Mr. Wilson was our soccer coach. Back then, I had him for all 4 years, and he just taught you so much more than soccer. I mean, he just got you prepared for the world outside of high school, and was just a huge influence in persevering and doing what you want to do, and just going out there and getting it.
Now you're talking about teachers who really, the subject matter really you didn't really follow. So can you tell us what you did after high school?
After high school, I went to Penn State York for my first 2 years, and while I was there, I actually played soccer, and I wrote for the newspaper out at Penn State, and I actually realized, I don't want to go towards the print way. So I'm like, even at Penn State York, I wasn't taking any classes for my major, but I was like, you know what, I'm not interested in this as much as I thought, so I went towards telecommunications, which is more like video production, that kind of stuff. And then my last 2 years, I went to Penn State main campus, and I got my degree there. And after that, I just got prepared for what I wanted to do, and then was hired at ESPN 6 months after I graduated from Penn State.
Okay, we'll come back to that in just a second.
Okay.
Back when you were at Susquehannock, were there any video production classes?
There were not.
Oh.
And that's why I went towards journalism, because I was very in tune to sports. I mean, since I remember when I was 4 years old, I'd go outside and grab the paper every morning, read the sports page. So just trying to get involved in something with that. That's why I did journalism. I was a sports reporter, and I mean, if we had any video production classes available here, it would have been great, but we didn't have that at our leisure back then.
Right. Okay, so today you're working at ESPN. Can you elaborate on pretty much what you do there, what your job is?
Right now I'm part of the programming department, and our little group within the programming department is called the content screening group. The programming department, we're part of domestic programming, but there's a bunch of different divisions of the programming department. You have the acquisition side, which they're the ones that go out and get all the rights to Major League Baseball, NFL, everything you see on ESPN, any of the networks, they go out there and acquire those rights. You have the planning team who, once you get those rights, they're the ones that go out and actually plan the network. What's the best way to get the best ratings and all that. And then our group, we're the content screening group. We actually, the simplest form is it says we get paid to watch TV. Because I actually manage the group. I'm one of the 4 managers of the group, and our associates, they screen anything that pretty much goes to air, not just domestically, but for international networks as well. And we screen for 14 networks, and that includes anything from English to Spanish language. And we screen anything for, there's a lot of package shows that come outside from outside packagers that we screen, and we're looking for that everything's okay for content, technical issues, because when they send them in, they might not be looking at what they did, so there might be a video hit, something like that, or some sort of audio hit, so we're making sure that we catch that before it goes to air. And we screen live events, because most of those will re-air on other networks or overnight, and we actually are cutting down those games. We don't actually technically cut them down, but we have a system, a computer system, where we get like new alternate ins and outs. So a game goes 3.5 hours long, that rears in a 2-hour window. So we kind of have to condense that full-length game down to 2 hours. So our associates are taking notes through the game and cutting that game down for the rears. So I oversee those associates. I'm kind of like a troubleshooter. I deal with all the other departments in ESPN, like production, international programming, other like master control, all those kind of areas. And I'm trying, just making sure that what we're doing is we're trying to make their lives as easy as possible as well.
Wow.
So it's trying to put it in the easiest sense, because if you don't see it, it's kind of hard to understand sometimes.
Sure. Yeah. Wow. Do you feel that your time at Susquehannock has prepared you for life after high school?
Yes. Just I mean, the classes I did, like the journalism and just getting ready for the outside world and getting ready for college, because I think high school is definitely prepping you for college, and then college, you know, does the rest for outside. But I mean, I was ready as could be for college, and I mean, I loved my years here at Susquehannock, but you know, I was ready to move on and go to college, and ready to, and after college, ready to move on and do that. But just getting like ready for the outside world, getting you prepared to be a leader, because that's a huge thing if you want to do well. So it definitely helped in the long run.
What really got you into journalism and pretty much, I guess, video production, I guess?
Well, I did like to write. I like to write, so that's what really got me into journalism. And then, especially getting into the journalism class and being a sports reporter, and putting sports and writing together was definitely a huge thing. I mean, I follow anything. I'll watch anything. I don't watch it as much anymore, just because you know I deal with it 8 to 10 hours a day when I'm at work. But I mean, from when I was younger, I mean, sports has been a huge part of just watching it, playing it, just doing anything with it. I mean, I started playing soccer when I was 4, playing baseball, and taking that and be able to do that in a real world setting. That's how I got into it that way, and I was like, I'm going to do something that I want to do. And so being a sports reporter here, and then doing sports up at Penn State York as writing, and then switching careers and being able to get into video production at Penn State. But then I really set my goals high by trying to get a job at ESPN, because when you put the media and the video production and the sports together, that's where you want to work. And I'm glad I was able to do it, and I mean, I'm happy every single day. So it's I think if you really need to be happy to do what you want to do, and to do what I want to do, and what I've always dreamed of, is it's great.
On that note, if you feel so happy, do you ever see yourself doing anything else?
Well, we always, all of our family still lives here. My parents live here. My wife's family still lives down here. They're from Spring Grove. So we always want to come back. But the problem is, like, what would I do? Because I interned at like the Fox affiliate in York during my college years, and I realized I didn't want to get into local TV. So I just have to look to see what the opportunities are. But if you ever leave Pennsylvania, you ever leave this area, it's whenever you go anywhere else, it's never the same. So we want to come back. It's just what I would do, I don't know.
Do you have children?
I have 2 children. I have a 3-year-old and a 8-month-old. So they're a handful, and they're great though.
Do you ever have any desire to move back to the area? I mean, with your children and seeing the way things are now?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we definitely want to get back, just because of the family and the whole atmosphere too. It's like there's nothing like I was just driving from here, just from Spring Grove to here today, and just the scenery, you don't see that in Connecticut. But with our kids, like our son's 3 now, so in a couple years he'll be starting kindergarten, and we've been looking at schools, and like just I'm always looking back at this, like how my days were here, because I started in first grade when I started here, and I meant it was a great district to come up into. My wife, she went to Spring Grove district, and she loved that. And Connecticut is just you don't hear the best of things about the education. And I mean, if we were to ever come back, this would be any of the school districts in this area would be a great reason too. Plus the family.
Before the show, you mentioned that the TV studio wasn't here. Besides this, maybe what's the biggest change you've noticed in the school district?
It sounds. I looked at the sports fields as well, and all of that's new. I mean, it looks like the football fields. It looks like it's pretty much brand new. There's the with the concession stand as well is right there. Baseball fields new. It looks like all the outside settings are new. I haven't been able to walk around the school at all, so I don't know what that looks like, but it looks like they've definitely improved the outside areas of the school. And I mean, just something like this, the studio, where I didn't have this kind of opportunity, what was it, 12 years ago, to deal with this. And I mean, it's a great opportunity for anyone to have. Really gets you to see what, like, if you want to do this, even if it's just something for fun too.
Right.
It's something extracurricular that you can do.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
This was fascinating, actually. And thank you all, the audience, for joining us today. And thank you for watching this episode of Alumni Pride. So for everyone here at Warrior TV, I'm Zoe Heatwell, and have a great day.